Chapter 5 begins the transition from the theory of auditing or the principles of auditing to how we actually audit. We're going to be given a number of tools to help us actually audit. The start of the chapter on 131 to 137 reviews the assertions of auditing. We should be very familiar with these at this stage, and little additional time should be needed. However, if you don't understand these, this is a great opportunity to go back and make sure you understand these. On page 137, we introduce the concept of audit evidence, in particular the concept of the nature and sufficiency of auditing. From 137 to 139 are all level 1 topics. You need to have a mastery of this material by the test. You should be able to identify what determines both the relevance and reliability of the audit. As we begin on 140, we begin to talk about how we actually gather evidence. This discussion starts on 140 and continues to 145. You should be able to describe in detail what each of these procedures is. There are no definitions per se to memorize, but when I talk about inquiry, you should know what it is. That being said, I would skip table 5-4 as we won't get into any technicalities on how you do inquiry. Table 5-6 is definitely one I would read. It goes over evidence hierarchy. We're going to talk about in class that's more art than science. The figure on 5-3 on page 147 is a critical level 1 topic. You need to not only understand this, but be able to follow it and apply it. The discussion continues to page 148, the evidence bucket. This is one of the figures I would actually memorize. I know it's a lot to memorize, but knowing this will help you understand how we do the audit. The discussion on 149, the remainder of the chapter is on audit documentation, and I would skip all of that material. It's very technical. We're going to get to cover that when we do our final project. I won't test you on any of that. There is one advanced module on page 156 on substantive analytical procedures. I do expect you to know how to do that. Figure 5-7 is one you should know and have memorized, or at least be able to replicate in practice. That being said, don't worry if you don't have the formulas memorized that are on page 167 to 169. I'll let you use a cheat sheet on the test if you don't have these memorized, but you should be able to understand what the inventory turnover ratio is. You should understand what the accounts receivable turnover ratio means. So we're going to talk about this in class. Have a great one.